Hello everybody, welcome home, welcome back, and welcome to Schmitty300 Tries Glyphica Typing Survival. This came out a few weeks ago and has really caught my interest and caught my eye, and it's actually managed to keep my interest, which is rare these days. This is a typing game coupled with a number of other game genres. It's got like tower defense, it's got action roguelike, it's got bullet hell, all kinds of stuff. And it's just a lot of fun. It helps keep me focused on things and practice my typing. And this is also a game I would not recommend for people who are, below the 50 or 60 words a minute area and are wanting to improve their typing. This game will probably kick your butt. I'm sorry to say. I could be wrong, but this game kicks my butt, and I'm over 100 words a minute with like 95-97% accuracy. So this game can kick my butt big time. So yeah, so there's that. So the game basically just starts with your main weapon in the middle of the screen, and yellow enemies, dots. They're basically just dots that represent enemies. Come in from all sides of the screen, and they have a word above them. And you type that word, and then your weapon fires at it. And then, depending on what letters are in, or what that are in the word, and what letters start the word, it'll also trigger other weapons we're going to get throughout the playthrough. The repeater is just a basic short burst bullet weapon, and that's the one we're going to do. There are two modes. There's trials, which has 3 levels, each with a boss at the end. They get progressively harder. And if you finish all the trials with no what are called omens, then you can go into here and add omens. Omens are basically Ascension from Slay the Spire. They just add extra obstacles and make the game a lot harder. Not that it really needs to be. And then there's an endless one, which I've gotten to almost 36 minutes with the repeater. And endless gets just really nuts. Just gets nuts the farther you go in. So we're going to give this a shot, and I'll show you what it's all about. So we'll do no omens to start here. Okay, so the boss is going to show up in 4 minutes. There's nothing you can do to hurry that or get him here faster. You just got to survive for 4 minutes. And as you can see, you just type, and the game just knows what you're trying to type. It detects what letters are next in all the words available, and even if you go from fell to roast, like FE, and then you hit R by accident, it starts roast and doesn't ding you for getting an error. It's just really clever. So here we go. So got some level ups here. So early on, they will more than likely give you new weapons to add to your repertoire. Lucky for me, my favorite one is here. The blade trap is by far my favorite weapon in this game. So whenever you complete a word, they call letters glyphs in this game. Whenever you complete a word that starts with the letter J, K, L, or M, it'll deploy a spinning 4-spoked blade trap, and they're awesome. They're huge, take up a lot of space, great damage over time, and a huge area of effect. So it's just my favorite by far. The meteor storm is my next favorite, and it's just that one's just really fun. Not that the other ones are not fun, but so this game doesn't require any use of a mouse. And so you just type in the word below the upgrade you want, and it gives it to you. So any JKLM words, and just so as it so happens, we got a second level, and I'm going to take the meteor shower. So type in vouch. So periodical. Oh, well, I just ruined it. So that's what happens: is the meteor will spawn a word in gray somewhere on the screen, and you type in the word, and a meteor shower shows up. This one here is a 2 times damage, so for the next 10 seconds I do double damage. You don't get penalized if you miss the meteor shower or anything. So yeah, so you can see that the dots kind of start small, and then eventually they're gonna get, you can start small, and then eventually they're gonna get, more layers. See, tough there has a kind of a layer around it. They're gonna get faster, and they're gonna get bigger. They're gonna get harder to kill, and all kinds of stuff. It's a really great game that just kind of, there's so much happening that it really helps me take my mind off a few things and that kind of stuff. So I'm really enjoying it. So this is the tough choice here for me. So I do like the Tesla Mine. Complete words starting with B, C, D, or E. Deploys electrical turret that deals damage over time. But also the rare upgrade from Meteor is very good. Each upgrade either is common, uncommon, or rare. And you can also get, you see at the bottom of the screen there, you can also get rerolls for these upgrades. You can spawn, you can pass on these and spawn 3 new ones and choose from those instead. I really like Tesla Mine. I think I'm gonna go for that one. So yeah, so any B, C, D, or E will spawn a Tesla, word starting with those, or JK starts with J, K, L, M. All 8 of those letters that start words will spawn some sort of damage dealer for us, which is really nice. So there's the Tesla right there. So it's got the range of the circle and does electric damage over time to anything in the circle. There also are generic loot and upgrades. And we do have two weapons that are classified as a turret. So we'll take the calibration upgrade and get 20% extra damage for those. And we'll do a regular level up, excuse me. And we're going to increase the range of the Tesla Mine by 10%. So that makes the circle that much bigger. Fend Gate. Yeah, so there's the Meteor Storm. So, and another double damage there. So there's 2 ways to improve your weapons in this game. There's up here, that's your experience bar. So whenever you kill, or whenever you complete typing a word accurately, sorry, one sec. A little water there. You get experience, but also whenever a particular weapon kills an enemy, that goes towards their evolution, and they can evolve into improved versions of themselves by adding on these different traits. So the main weapon we have, Repeater, has evolved, and we're going to add Ricochet. Repeater projectiles ricochet to random nearby targets, dealing 50% damage on hits after the first one. I just love it when the bullet kind of shatters and goes into an area. Really helps out as the screen gets quite busy. That's an understatement. The screen gets very busy as we go along. So anything that does damage in an area, also known as an AoE, area of effect, is really good. Which is why I really love the spinning blades. And your main gun is the only one you have complete control over, because you can't spawn your other ones unless a particular kind of word comes out. With the bullets, you can always be shooting at something. So when you're always shooting, you're out, and then they'll always ricochet and always deflect, and it just makes for a lot of good damage. Upgrade the Tesla Mine for static chance, crit chance for the Repeater, or bigger range for the Meteor. Let's re-roll that. Blade Trap Evolution. So there's also an option to take a selection of kills towards the evolution of your weapon as an upgrade. However, I do like this Infinitum upgrade for the Tesla Mine, which gives us 30% bigger range. I'm a fan of that. So the boss will show up in about a minute and change, and we'll get into how that works when it arrives. So yeah, kind of casual to start. Kind of eases you in pretty slowly. But I assure you, it gets pretty nutty pretty quick. Let's roll that again. One more time. That's better. Meteor damage or blade trap? Let's go blade trap damage. So you'll also see that if you start typing a word and the enemy dies before you finish typing it, the word will remain and allow you to finish it, so you can still use that to trigger something. I do like the size of that Tesla field, that's for sure. Okay, more meteors. There is some blades. There's a lot to watch here. So as we progress and I kind of finish laying out how the game works for you, I might just kind of do like a running commentary of the words. I'm not sure if that's an entertaining thing to do, but it can be tough to know where I'm looking at and what I'm doing. So I might try that a bit later on. Okay, so Blade Trap. One of my favorite upgrades for the blade, or evolution upgrades for the Blade Trap, is increases the types of letters that spawn it. So I'm gonna try and reroll and get that. I got it. Excellent. Blade repository. So anything that starts with J, K, L, M, and Y and Z will spawn a blade, which makes me a happy boy. Sure, we'll go with the static chance. Boss time. So, the boss is simply a passage, a famous passage. I think most of them are Shakespeare, if I'm not mistaken. The enemies that come in become harder and faster, and you have to type the passage up there as you defend yourself. And once you finish the passage, you beat a level. So let's level up first. Spawn rate of meteor. Ooh, oscillators are good. Fire an oscillating stream of particles in the direction of your most recent target. I like this one too. So you can see it there. So whatever your latest target is, it'll just kind of do like a wave back and forth, and then the improvements for that will do more damage, higher crit rate. It'll also increase the speed at which it waves and the distance it waves to, and all that kind of stuff. So I do like. I like armaments. Just kind of upgrading all your weapons at once is something I enjoy. So yeah, so to be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows. So now, the beauty of this game is the game just knows where you're at. It knows what letter comes next for every single item on the screen. So you just start typing. So as soon as you're ready to go back to the passage, you just do it. You don't have to tab or, mouse click to make sure the game knows what you want to be typing towards. It just knows, and it's seamless, and it's great. If I'm not mistaken, as soon as a word with an A starts with an A comes up, yeah. So theoretically, well, not theoretically, like literally, you can just sit here and defend yourself and not even worry about the passage. And eventually, you will have pressed the keys in the right order to finish it. But that'll take a long time, and we're not going to do that. That's not as fun. A sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. Pacify. To die, to sleep, no more. And by us, sleep. So, we're seeing a few new ones come through. The little arrows are enemies that will enter the battlefield, and nice. Blades will stop kind of near the border of the screen and start generating and creating enemies, like an enemy dispenser. So you kind of want to make them your priority, or else they're just never going to stop. Golf, Zenith. Let's get some blades out here, please. My repeater has evolved. I do like Frost Fang, adding a chance to freeze enemies. As the game progresses, the enemy's going to get bigger and tougher and have more hit points. And having a chance for the repeater to freeze them in place as they approach you can be extremely useful. So I'll go for that. And should we evolve the Blade Trap? We got 3 rerolls. Let's reroll. Range of the meteor, damage of the meteor. Let's that. Just about every time I see a rare, I pretty much take it. Let's try that again. Yeah, 30% damage on the repeater for sure. So apparently I was behind on my level ups. Should we evolve the repeater? No. Let's improve the oscillator crit chance. To say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to, 'tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. Back to the words. Let's get some blades out here, please. Fishes, worn, just. And then another generic loot. Do I have any heat weapons? So you can also check your current weapons in this screen, which is very useful. We do have heat weapons. Oscillator is heat damage. Yes, it is. Okay, let's do the seer then. To die, to sleep, to sleep. So there's another text. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted here. We want blades. There's a blade. There's a blade. Junction's a blade. Quanta Beta. So you can see they get pretty big here. But I have yet to encounter anything that can really handle the rotating blades very well. They just eat up anything inside. Workflow. Ice Fairy Paste. Smart Edit. Dongle. Here comes a meteor shower. To dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come. Charge. Feud. File. And the Tesla is upgraded. Oh, excellent. Let's get some more Teslas out there on V and W words. Are we going to evolve the Tesla? No, let's get the range on the meteor shower. Am I that behind again on levels? Let's increase the spin rate of my blade traps. When we have shuffled off this mortal coil, vain warp used, varnish. Must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long. Done. So yeah, so no matter how close the enemies are to your center, as soon as you finish the passage, the level ends and you win. So just like Slay the Spire, there are boss upgrades. On picking up reroll, deal a random amount of damage between 0 and 100 to all enemies on screen. That sounds pretty good. You see those pretty frequently. So yeah, so that's the first trial. So you just carry on to the next one. So I got 134 words a minute. That's really bad accuracy for me, 93.8. And it gives you your best weapon, and it also measures your damage per second for all the weapons as well, and tells you what your best weapon was. Let's carry on. I'm hoping there were 2 different kinds of bosses. One's the passage, and there's another one that's a lot of fun that I hope will show up. Because it's challenging, but I really enjoy it. Look at the size of those ranges. More blades. I'm very, very eager to try out the other weapons, and there's also going to be augmentations for when you play this game, like for runs. I'm not sure what that will actually entail, but I'm very interested to find out. Get some meteors. Lots of Teslas. No blades. No blades. No blades. No bows. Leave your weapons here. That is from the Kevin Costner Robin Hood movie, Prince of Thieves. I have a weird thing with random movie quotes. My brothers think I'm an alien. So a level up. More range of the Tesla? Sure. Why not? Double damage. There's some blades. More blades. This game is so satisfying. Not one I would recommend for... This isn't the typing game I would recommend for someone who's kind of in the like 40 to 60 words a minute range to I wouldn't recommend getting this to try and improve your typing skills. I don't think. This game gets pretty punishing, and I mean, I could be wrong, and I don't want to dissuade people from buying it because I think you absolutely should. But yeah, this might not be the right typing program for you. It's a lot of fun, but you kind of have. I mean, this game kicks my butt after like 20 minutes on endless, and you throw on the omens, and this game gets nutty. There's an omen, I think at level 4, that every single time you make an error, you lose 3 hit points, and that one is nuts. Luckily, there are medical, like there's healing bonuses that appear the same way that rerolls do, so that's good. But they don't appear unless you're actually hurt, which is why we haven't seen them yet. Bigger range on the meteor? No, let's go rate of fire. No. Yeah, let's go rate of fire. More rocks from the heavens. More levels. Yes, let's evolve the oscillator. One more kill for that, and it'll... There it is. Penetrate enemies for extra damage, or ball lightning for electric damage. Let's go electric damage, because that way if I get a electric damage loot upgrade, that'll apply to the Tesla and the oscillator. I was just going to say, I'd love to get my blade trap to evolve. So what I really want is more letters. More letters. Come on. Erg. Do I already have it? I am a dumb idiot. I've already got it. So waste all those rerolls. Let's add the bleeding. I thought they could do VW too. Oh well, no problem. Yeah, I'm very excited to see where this game goes. I actually encountered, one of the bugs I encountered early on was when you're doing the passages for the bosses, the apostrophe didn't register at all. So you had to basically restart. Let's get some blades down there. Let's get a reroll. You also get bonuses if you have a perfect typing record, perfect input you can see there. It just came up. So it gives you plus crit chance for the longer the streak you have, the more chance you have. And I just ruined it because I'm awesome like that. All right, here comes the boss. I'm hoping it's the other one, so I can show you. Bingo! So this guy is cool. So he's just this jumble of words, and his word is always gibberish. Do I want cold 2 or ricochet 2? Frost doesn't increase the freeze chance, which is what the main reason I have Frost Fang. So I'm gonna get the ricochet. And let's reroll that. Oscillator crit chance, sure. So everything that all the words he has are always gibberish, and any enemy that enters his little circle of influence there will also turn into gibberish. This one here is going to freeze everyone. Oezal. So yeah, so OETB. That's a Y. Berg. Golf. Upret. And after you do enough damage to him, he'll actually move across the screen to just like that. Y load. So yeah, so you really gotta slow down because a lot of people, I'm sure like me, have kind of like muscle memory for real words, and those don't exist around this guy. So you have to be very careful. Vitar. What do we got? Heat weapons. Remote. Yes. Just even bigger range for the meteor. Oscillator crit chance. Sure. Your triggers still apply, even though the word is gibberish. There's a square one that just died. There's a hexagonal dude. Another. See, they're getting bigger and bigger. Not necessarily too much faster quite yet, but meteor has evolved. I like the sound of ice rain. Lose explosive damage, but gain cold and freeze chance. Yes, please. And duration of the blade trap? Yes. Realm. Just focus on this guy for a few seconds. Yikes. Osquakin. And line. So yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg as far as starting to get a little bit, not out of hand, but gets more interesting, that's for certain. Hopefully if I continue with this series, then we'll do a bunch of endless and see how far we can get. And I'll show you just how crazy you can get. There we go. So he had life bars below him, and I didn't point that out, but you probably saw it. Yeah, you just got to do enough damage to him, and he dies. So the initiation, I don't like this because, like, we already have, I think repeater. Yeah, we already have 5 weapons, which is the most you can have. So new weapons acquired automatically get 1 evolution level. Well, that doesn't do any good because my weapon's already full. I'm never going to get a new one. Offering this shouldn't be an option after the second boss, I think. I'm going to reroll these entirely, though. On shield destroyed, 30% chance to gain double damage. Crit damage will always inflict status effect. Yeah, let's do that, because we increase the crit a lot of our oscillator. So let's increase the good things that the crits can do. 132 words per minute, 95% accuracy is better. Let's go to the next trial. All right, so this is trial 3 of 3. Another 4 minutes before boss time. Repeater damage, yes. Well, I love Slay the Spire. It's games like this where I don't have to strategize, I just have to be quick. Very much appeals to how my brain operates. And it's kind of a nice... This is actually kind of a relief from having to overthink things and overanalyze. This is just like, you see the word? Oh, just type it. You're good. You got to think a little bit about the synergies your weapons and upgrades have, obviously, but at least at this point there aren't too many choices there. I would imagine if this game is successful, and I really hope it is for the developer, that they'll add, I mean, obviously there's going to be 4 more weapons coming, and I'm hoping that they'll also increase the variety of upgrades, maybe different kinds of damage, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a little bit thinky, but not nearly as thinky as many of the other games I play. I like to heal by preventing, so having 50% less health doesn't bother me. So down to 150, but now all of our weapons do 30% more damage, which means that our spinning blades are going to decimate anything they touch. Same with the meteor strike. Oscillator damage. Sounds good. Halfway to the boss. Right, blue, east arch, worried. What the heck is combi? Cone? Tesla evolution. Heat damage and ignite chance, or enemies in Tesla mine range have 20% increased chance to get static status from electric damage sources. Yeah, let's do that. Increased damage over time. Most of the units don't move very fast, so they're likely to get stuck in those... plus the range is huge, right? We've saw to that. Another upgrade. Explosive damage, bleed effect, heat weapons. Let's go bleed effect. It's just so satisfying when a great weapons build comes together and get some great synergies. The blades just make me feel safe. Like nothing gets through those things. Cold ooh. Yeah, let's go cold damage. Attack. Here's more blades. We're leveling up. Let's reroll. Tesla static chance. Why not? Problem is, your weapons get too good. You can't get the words in time to spawn those blades you like so much. I stand corrected. Junk. There's some blades. Blade up evolved. Let's go for the bleeding. Why not? Urge. Boss time. All itchy. Itchy. Ashy. Little Shakespeare. To be or Gene. Pest. Salt. Fair. Meal. Vania. To be. That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous Tank, tank. So you can see some of them have like borders around them and a 2. That means you have to type it twice in order for your repeater to activate. But luckily, oh, look at that. Another 30% on the meteor. Fabulous. Let's get some good old-fashioned blades out there. Fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep no more, and by us sleep to say we end the heartache and 1,000 natural ream, fibs, ream, oils, gang, voice, viewers, deem, fibs, bear, quinine. That cleared it up pretty good. What's our loot? Crit chance for kinetic weapons? Sure. Shocks, that flesh is heir to, 'tis a consummation, walk, marital, gill, vein, yelp for blades, juice for blades, let's for blades, kink for blades, all weapons, yes please. Oh, I should have gone electric. I was rushed. Shouldn't have been. Hey, knock it off. Damage over time can crit. Yes, sir. To be wished. Yipe. Leap. Zeros. Leap. Gill. Read. Tang. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub, for in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have binge, soya, hues, milk, hand, imps for freeze. Idea, link for blades, yelp for blades. Off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. Done. Beautiful. Good stuff. So yeah, that's Glyphica, typing survival. One of my favorite, 91%? Yeesh. I gotta work on that. Yeah, one of my favorite games right now. I highly recommend you pick it up. And we'll do some more videos tomorrow. So thanks for stopping in. And as always, be kind, be strong, and be awesome. And we'll see you in the next video.